Hi, Ruta. Good morning. Ruta, you could take yourself off of mute. Let me see for that. I will unmute you. Good morning, good morning. We're waiting for everyone else to jump on. While we wait, I will start to share my screen. And we will begin with the buyer's consultation for our first meeting. Let me make sure I touch base with everyone by text to make sure that they're getting on right now. Good morning, everyone. If you're not on the buyer's consultation, find homes and make the offers, please jump on now. I just sent the link into the text. Jump on. See you soon. Hi, Majendi.
Hello,
How are you, darling?
I'm fine. How are you?
Good. I guess everybody's waking up right now. Like
Eh,
I just text the group. I'm like, get on this because we had about 6 new agents this week. They should be on here. Okay, let me see, Tony. Oh, he deleted his message. Hi, Ashley.
Good morning. Hi.
How are you, darling?
Oh, I need a coffee. How are you?
Ooh. Let me send you one through the email. There you go.
Yeah, right? Thank you. Thank you, my dear.
I had grape juice, and I was like, I had grape juice with orange juice and diluted it.
I love you. You are so alive right now.
Thank you. You know what I started watching this morning? It's crazy. It.
I
was watching It Part 2.
No.
And remember when we were younger, it came out.
Oh my God, you're crazy.
Yeah. Today's retro day for me. Retro day.
Girl.
Hi, Karina. How are you? Can she hear me? I think she might be in the Coral Springs office.
Hello. Hi. Good morning. Sorry, I was trying to get the mute button off.
I know sometimes the mute is like, I don't know. Sometimes during the meeting when I have to press mute, it takes forever to get off of mute.
Yes.
How are you today?
I'm doing great. How about yourself?
I'm wonderful. Are you from the Coral Springs office?
I'm Fort Lauderdale.
Fort Lauderdale. I call it Fort Lickerdale.
Well,
I live here in Fort Lauderdale too. I live right in Victoria Park area.
oh, okay. So I'm not sure if you're familiar with Croissant Park.
I am.
I'm in. So yes, that's where I reside.
Awesome. I don't know. I'm in the Aventura office and I've been there for 7 years. Yeah, 7 years. And I live right here for the Fort Lauderdale office.
Oh wow.
Yeah, but I use the Fort Lauderdale office whenever I need to, if I have to, but I usually have everything at
Cool.
home anyway. All right, so we're already at 11. I was gonna wait one more minute, and then whoever else comes in, they're just gonna be late, and it is what it is. Um, I don't want to take up everyone's Saturday, so
No,
it's not
well,
something.
I
Uh-huh.
appreciate your time and for Saturdays. So just want to say thanks.
No problem at all. We look forward to growing. We look forward to doing this more and adding more value to the Saturdays. So some of these
Mhm.
classes will remain recorded, so we can just go ahead and do other classes as well that others miss during the week. I know we have a lot of full-time people that work 9 to 5 during the week and not able to attend the Zooms. So thank goodness we're able to record these. And we can get done. All right, let's get started. All right, so this one is about showing homes with your buyers, finding the homes, making the offers. So this is what we're going to talk about today. So we're going to start from the moment you meet with your buyer until you send the offers. And then we also have a contract to close, which is going to be at the end. Hopefully we can do everything by 12:30. And that's why I want to start right away. So some people will be behind, and we'll just send them the recording once we're finished. All right, let's get started. Hi, Moses, I see you. Okay, so anytime you meet with the buyer, you will need to have your buyer's consultation, whether you're a seasoned realtor or a brand new realtor. And the reason being is because you're preparing your buyers for the transaction, what could happen, what might not happen, and so on. The good thing about this, especially if you're a new agent, it helps to void the gaps between conversations. So, if you're a new agent and you feel nervous and you're meeting with the buyer for the first time, your first customer, the awesome part about the buyer's consultation that it'll help you to fill in the silent, the discomfort and silence. Okay, so this presentation speaks for you. Okay, so that's the good part about having it and being prepared with it. All right. So this is a template I will share with everyone that don't have one right now. And I also have another one that I'll show you really quick after this one that I use as a shortcut as well. Okay. So when I meet with a buyer, if they don't come to the office, I will meet them at maybe Panera Bread or Starbucks where there's Wi-Fi always. I do always have my Wi-Fi box as well. I'm equipped with a little Wi-Fi because I have a separate line to use for Wi-Fi. So always be prepared to have access to Wi-Fi or have your own Wi-Fi box with either your iPad or your computer. You never know what they may ask you for. And then you could just pull it up and then start, looking, because there's different strokes for different folks. Always remember that. Just be prepared. Okay. So in the buyer's presentation, when you're meeting with them, you're going to tell them about their experience and the home dreams, because of the room and dimensions. They're going to tell you what they're looking for. And this is conversations that you'll probably have even before meeting them. They're going to give you the brief overview of what they're looking for. I need this many bedrooms, this many bathrooms, a pool, a garage. So you'll have that in place already and set in your mind. And when you meet with them, you're going to go further with this conversation. So you're going to understand what they're looking for during this meeting and get deeper into their wants and their needs and their budgets. Okay. You're going to have your little pearly white picture here. I'm going to change this. This is just for the class. I don't really have this on mine. So you just have a really nice picture prepared for this because this is going to be the presentation by you. Okay. All right, so you're gonna go through this process. This is brief right here. You're gonna let them know that during the home buying process, they're gonna select an agent, which would be you. If they're telling you when you meet with you that they're interviewing different agents, you have to figure out what their needs are in an agent and what will create that decision for them. Okay, but most likely they met with you, they're interested. You're going to want to obtain financial pre-approval. So you have to finance before you jump in that car to start showing properties. Do not take anyone out prior to them being pre-approved. You could take them to a house that costs $500,000, but their budget could be $300,000. So when you sit with them, this is what you're telling them. We have to obtain financial pre-approval, see where we are. That way our expectations are exactly met. Okay. Analyze their needs in this buyer's consultation meeting. We start selecting properties. We start making appointments to view them. We write and make the offer for the choice. Okay. Negotiate terms, and then you go through the whole process of accepting of a contract. And then you're going to go through this with them, the process. Okay. So we're just saying, okay, we're going to remove contingencies, meaning inspections and appraisals. That's where that comes in. So when you're going through this with them, you're going to say, okay, once we get your mortgage approval, we're going to analyze the needs based on the mortgage approval. We're going to do an MLS search and select properties that meet their requirements. Sometimes we have to step outside of the circle for the buyer, because sometimes they know what they want, but sometimes you're on the outside, you feel value instead of emotions. Okay. So your job is to fulfill the value along with their emotions. So you can also add 2 or 3 properties that you feel can help them out as well. So there's a lot of times customers choose properties based on emotions. And sometimes you can throw in an extra to fulfill the emotions as well as a value. That's what I suggest always. Don't always depend on them to find the home. Okay. So be proactive and add value to that. So view properties, you're going to schedule. So I'm going to show you how to find them and how to schedule them and route them properly so that you're not wasting any time in your day. And then once you write the offer, I'll go through the process of how you write the offer. How do you speak with the listing agents? In this case, you want to be the favorite realtor for that listing agent so your offer can get accepted. So we're going to go through that. How do you negotiate with the listing agents, with their sellers? And then how to get your offer accepted. Right now in our market, it's crazy because for one house, there's at least 20 offers because of the lower interest rates. So you have to stand out. You have to communicate with the listing agent and try to be in their favor. Okay. And then down here, we'll go through once the offer is accepted and the appraisal and inspections is done, that you'll go ahead and piggyback on every departments to keep in touch with the title company, keep in touch with the lenders, keep in touch with the appraisers, the inspectors. You're everyone in a transaction. So never think I'm just the agent, I'm going to sit back once it reaches to this area. You have to be on top of everyone. You are everyone. In order for your customer to be satisfied, they will be looking to you. You are the communicator between them and everyone else. You have about 21 persons in a transaction, and you are the 21 people in that transaction. So you're fighting for your deal, not only for your buyer to close, but for you to get paid. That's the whole point. All right. So that what I just went over here, it breaks it down here on your presentation. That when they do their pre-approval, they go through underwriting once all of paperwork, all of the required documents are turned in. And then you have the underwriting that takes the loan package, submit it and get the approval for it. And then there's a loan approval. So just because your buyers approve initially on part 1, the loan is not necessarily approved in total. The loan approval will come into effect when the appraisal is turned in, the inspections are done, and as well as the applicant. So the loan approval will not only approve the buyer, it also will approve the home, and that will be the loan approval. So if everything comes back normal, the title come back clear, appraisals meet the standards, then there's a loan approval. And we'll go through that on the offer, okay? All right, so you're gonna go through this and let them know what happens when you make the offer, what happens when it's accepted, rejected, or countered. This little part right here is the most emotional part of the process for your buyer. And of course for you, because of course, every time you sit down and write an offer, 30 to 45 minutes. And you're hoping, okay, let me go ahead and send this offer and it get accepted so I don't have to go ahead and drive anymore and use more gas money and more Starbucks money. So, you're always meeting them up. Let me add money to my app. So this is an emotional roller coaster, and you'll explain to them that it will be good times, there will be sad times, there will be times they may want to cry, just to prepare them that buying a home can be a roller coaster. All right. So you get them prepared for it. You get them prepared for the closing days. You're gonna let them know what they need. If you're working with a title company, just have a standard form with the information for the title, their name, their address, the contact person, insurance contacts that you use, any contacts that you need to fulfill and added value to the move for your customer, you should have on deck. So you should have a list of movers. You should have a list of title companies, lenders that you use. Like have like a standard packet that you can issue. Okay. All right. So when you sit with them, you're gonna go through what their needs are, their dreams, which are two different things. I just want to tell you that. There's needs and their dreams. Dreams are wants. The good thing about dreams and wants, they can be set to the side if their needs are met. So when you're meeting with them, you say, okay, you need this and you want this, but what if you don't get all that you want? Are you still willing to take what you need? So that's the conversation you have. You go to a house, they said they want a pool, but then the house is perfect and it have a lot of backyard space. You can add a pool later on in the future. Are you willing to accept that house if everything else is perfect with the lot size for you to add that pool? These are the questions that you'll ask during this meeting. Because some people, when you go and you meet them, they say, oh, I have to have a pool. I have to have a pool. Sometimes you look at these homes, it's exactly the home that they're looking for inside, but maybe they don't have that pool. But the lot size is so big that they can add that pool. So these are questions that you'll ask, okay? You want to know what their concerns are. You want to know the questions that they will ask in regards to the homes, whether school systems, near the highway, near the place of worship, near their jobs. You have to ask those questions. When I sit with someone, I always ask, how long have you been at your job? Okay, if they've been at their job forever, then you know that job is important to them. Okay, do you prefer to live near your job or do you prefer to live near the school system? Tell me, what is it that's more important to you? So that you ask them those questions as well. Where we live, commuting it's hell. So you don't want to like have them driving an hour to go to work on top of traffic. Will probably add another hour. So these are the reasons why we ask that. All right. So you go through let them know you're going to start previewing homes once they're approved. You're going to personally tour homes if they're not available. In today's market, some of the cases you will have to jump as soon as a MLS is on, shows up a home on the market. Let's say 8 o'clock this morning. You call your buyer. I'm like, are you able to meet me 10 o'clock this morning? If not, I will go to this house and look at it for you. And during this process, you develop trust with your buyer. They know you know what they're looking for. I've sold homes that my buyer never see until they got their keys. So I've sold homes to people in New York. I've sold homes to people in Jamaica that never seen the home until they got their keys. So once you build that trust with them, you're able to do stuff like that for them. FaceTime tours is available right now too. So you can do that. If you send an offer pending the inspection, they can go back to look at the house during the inspection. And the good thing about that, you have 7 days to inspect, you can cancel. I don't suggest that because that's a waste of time, but at the same time, it is possible. Okay. So these are questions you can ask them. I won't go through each of these and take up the time, but I will supply you with this presentation. It's a template that you can change and edit for your needs. Okay. All right, any questions about the presentation? Okay. So this is the move-in checklist that I told you about. The good thing, everything is on here. So you can actually have contact information for each customer based on where they're moving. Plantation, Fort Lauderdale, Miami, Aventura. It's just good to have a resource for each area. All right, so I will minimize this and we will now jump into the MLS. Don't look at my desktop, okay? I know I gotta organize it. I know. All right, that was last night, so I had to refresh this. All right, does everyone have access to the MLS?
Yes.
All right, so if you can, if you have your computer with you, please jump on the MLS with me. So log in. My classes are I make you use exactly what I'm using. It's interactive. You can't learn unless you do it. I learn better that way. I'm a doer. You show me once, that's it. So everyone log into the MLS. Let me know when everybody's ready. And you'll see in my classes, I don't really use the textbooks. I use experience. I try to reach to teach. I don't just sit in front of a classroom and read through a book. Actually, I don't at all. They'll tell you in the office, I'm like the rebel of the office. I kind of break the rules a little bit. Sometimes I curse, you know. So if I offend anyone, I'm sorry. All right, so let's go. So when you're logged onto your dashboard, you log into the matrix. Now this class it's not going into details of the matrix. So if you have not taken the matrix from the MLS, please sign up to take Matrix 101. I think it's 3 of them. I think 101, 201, 301. So we're doing a search today and we're routing. So we're not going deeper into features and benefits of the MLS. It's just a search today, okay?
Hey,
But
Sheikah,
uh-huh.
do you, so like, you know, girl, that I don't like Matrix, but do you have to do, because I know on those like 100 days and the checklists and stuff, it tells you to do both the Rapatoni and the Matrix 101 to 301. Do you have to do both or is it like one or the other?
It's up to you. It's your preference, but I suggest you do. The matrix is the main one between the two.
Okay.
Okay. So most people don't use the wrap. I don't like that. I don't like it. That it's just too complicated.
Oh, I'm like so different, but okay, okay.
Yeah. For a lot of people, especially if they're not tech savvy, like I know how to use it, but to teach somebody how to use it, it's not easy for everyone who's not used to technology. So the matrix is easier for them. And this is the most pushed program on the dashboard. But I do suggest they take both if you know they want to learn, but at least one, if not both. All right. The matrix is the main one, is the main hub. All right. So if we're gonna look for a single family home, so when you're on the matrix, you see here, you have your tabs here. If you're new, make sure your matrix is set up. Okay. That way, when you do your search and your saved emails, that it's gonna have your information on there. How do you do that? My screen here. Where am I here? Where am I thing? Oh, let me go to search. My name is usually to the right here. My screen too big. So I guess I have too much, it's too wide. Maybe just narrow it down a little bit. Okay, so how do you set yourself up? Right here on the right side, where it says your name is there. You do the drop down, you click on settings, and you go under my information. And then under my information, you go ahead and pick the tabs here to go ahead and set your profile up. You're gonna head on the footer. So I chose this banner here. Okay. I have to change that picture. I'm ready to change it already. And then make sure you put here. So I chose Sheikah Anderson. My full name, my legal name, of course, you see here is Yashika, but I put Sheikah. So much easier for everyone to pronounce, and I prefer it shorter. For my email signature, this is what I have here for my email signature. I have the agent website on here. I don't really use this as the website. I use the KW website anyway, so it's not, this is just for the dashboard purpose. And then you can also change your portal, the portal. So what the portal is, what people see when you send them emails and you send them on automatic receive. That's what you put here, okay? And the reason why I brought this up is because when you start sending emails, you want them to see what's in the email signature. And when they get on their portal, they'll see your information there, which I'll show you what that looks like. All right, so we're gonna go into search. We're looking for a single family home. All right, our price is gonna be 600 or less. We're looking for a 4+. Now, when you put the size that the total bedrooms and the total bathrooms, always make sure you put the plus for 4 or more. If you just want a 4-bedroom, you take off whatever the plus is. If you want just 4-bedroom, 3-bath only, you put 4-3 right there. If you want 4 and more bedrooms to give them more options, you put the plus. Always remember that. When you put the price point, if $600,000 is their max, you put 600 minus. But if you know this customer is picky and they won't like a home, for example, under 450, you're gonna put 450 to 600. Especially if you notice right here, the matches are over 250. You're like, oh, hell no, I'm not gonna be showing all that. So let me go ahead and do what I need to do to minimize this. We're gonna go ahead and pick the city. I'm going to pick Plantation. I'm biased abroad, I'm sorry. You know, I'm a Miami girl, yet I switched out, you know. All right, so they want a single family home. They don't want any condos or townhomes. Right here, where you see where it says property type from the residential property type or type of property. And I'm going to say this and not offend anyone. Not all agents are that smart, okay? The matrix is complicated, like Ashley was saying, the new system period from the MLS, because the matrix wasn't what I used to use. They brought the matrix in maybe about 2 years ago, but they don't know what to put here, okay? So where you want to see the type of property, click on this one. Don't take it here, because I've done the testing and I noticed no one really knows what this for some reason. They're not putting the information correct in here, but they're putting it correct in here, okay? So under type of property, click single if you're looking for a single family. So don't use this filter, use type of property filter, all right? If they're looking for, uh-huh.
Oh, Shika, so do you find like a big difference from the two?
I have, not in
Okay.
all cases, but in a lot of the cases. And especially while I'm teaching, I do notice sometimes when I press it, it's really off. And then when I go
Okay.
in, I see mobile homes. It's just, the problem is you have a lot of people putting in their listing into the MLS and they don't know what they're doing. So when you
Okay.
use too many filters, you end up losing out on an opportunity. So that's the other thing. Don't filter too much unless it's required.
Okay. All right.
If down here, if you haven't added a filter, for example, and there's only 25 homes down here, keep it the way it is. Now, if it's like 100 and you want to limit that, then you add another filter, but pick an easy filter. So you have to use your discretion when you're filtering. And that's sad. I know, I understand it's annoying because you just want to search, right? The right things. And you send emails out to your customer and they're looking at you like, I told I don't want this. But you let them know in advance, listen, I'm going to set you on an automatic email and there's a chance you may see homes that you don't like, but this is why I did that, because sometimes people aren't put the information in properly. And that's what I
Okay.
tell my members, okay?
Tika, one question. Why,
Uh-huh.
for example, you see 5 matches and I see 3 matches, and I have noticed that people get different results.
If you're on the matrix right now,
Yeah.
as I am, and you have 3 instead of 5, it's something you're not doing.
This is my issue too, that I've also noticed. So sometimes I look, because right now I have access to both still, that the results in Matrix sometimes are different from the results in Rapatoni, and you don't always get the same number. And I'm searching the same parameters, but sometimes I find that I see more homes in Matrix than I do in Rapatoni.
Because if you notice when you're in Rapatuni versus Matrix, and when you sign up for the MLS,
Yeah.
and you pay the additional $75, you have more access to the Rapatuni. The Matrix is the main hub for
Okay.
the MLS. That's why.
Okay.
And then what happens is you may see more in that matrix because more of like Fort Lauderdale and Palm Beach County,
Yeah.
their MLS feeds more into the matrix than the Rappatunny. That's why.
Okay. See, I've been
So,
doing searches for homes in Orlando, and when I look for that in Matrix, I get a lot more than I do in Rappatonee.
yeah, because matrix is more open to different associations. That's why. Rap is just, I don't use it. I just don't use it. Just use a matrix.
Okay.
But you will see that because of the feed from different realtors associations based on the county.
Okay.
But Miami, the MLS have that's why it's so expensive versus when you go somewhere
Right.
else, you know, it's because they open up the portal for different associations to feed into it.
Okay.
Yes, but and what I was thinking to do for myself
Annoying.
is even add Fort Lauderdale Association to mine. Is is a little bit more
Really?
expensive, but you do get a little bit more features from both.
Okay.
But that's if you have the budget to do that.
Right,
Don't
right.
don't do it if you know because I said it.
No, of course.
Right. So in this case, we have 5 matches. If I decide to change it to pool, you'll see the difference here. It went down to 3, but we're just gonna keep it just for the class sakes, right? All right. So we're in Plantation. We want a home from 450 to 600. Okay. We have 5 matches. Now, when you scroll down here, okay, make sure you have your options. When you first get your MLS, you're not gonna have these options down here. Okay. Ruta, can you hear me?
Yes, I hear you. Just I'm on mute.
You have your MLS already?
Yes.
All right. So, and you have it open right now?
I don't have open, but I know a little bit how to use that. I did before,
Okay.
but it's a lot,
Okay, good.
I'm still learning. It's like a lot of things you're saying. It's very good.
Okay, good. So when you open up your MLS, once you get to it, make sure you have your fields added. So, because when you get it, this area is blank, okay? So what you see here on mine is what I added for myself, okay? Based on what searches I do and what I know is probably almost required in some of the searches. And to add your fields, you press add and remove right here. And it'll take you to the available fields here, and whatever you choose, you press add and it'll take it here, and that will add to the bottom. Okay, so remember to do that. The most important one is the HOPA. Okay, that one is senior citizen versus not. Okay, so I'll show you what that means. So here, when you go to the bottom, okay, I know Plantation have some 55 and older single family.
I live in,
Uh-huh.
I'm from Plantation.
Oh yeah. My son graduated from South Plantation High. So I lived in Peters Road. Okay, so you have when you press no HOPA, it'll take away anything that's verified 55 and older. If you have a customer that's looking for 55 and older, you click verified.
Verified.
Okay.
That part I didn't know, like you're showing. I know basics. But
Yeah, you see? See, I'm good at it, but I'm not great at it. You know, something. And if I sit at when I first got the MLS, I'll be honest with you, I didn't take the classes, but I'm very, I have huge knowledge of technology. So when I jump onto something and I just click, I know exactly how to work it and I know how to learn it on my own.
And mine is a very weak skill of technologist.
Yeah, so I suggest you take the classes. Okay. All right, so let's click results. All right. So when you want to see the individual properties without checking them, you click on the MLS number. And the reason why I do that, for example, if you click all of these, that means that's what you like. Okay. So you uncheck that if it's already checked, depending on your default. You click on the MLS number and it'll take you to the individual full listing page.
I do mute because my baby came from outside because I don't want the people hear the noises.
Oh, that's okay. That's okay. So right here, so if you were to click on this, you already met with your customer. You know what style your customer like. They you know, they want modern, they want updated, they want fixer-upper. So depending on what your customer says they're looking for, it's wise that you browse through the listings.
Nice
Don't
house. Nice house, this one.
Yeah, I don't know, Plantation, it's such a great place. But I mean, I live downtown Fort Lauderdale. I've
I
been here
moved
for
2
almost
years
10
ago.
years.
I
I
moved
love
2
it.
years ago. When I got a baby, we moved here because more family orientation. Like it's
It is.
quiet, you know. I moved from Holland.
Yeah, Plantation is a great place. I live East Fort Lauderdale, closer to the beach because I love the beach, but later on in life, maybe I'll move west.
It's more quiet, you know. If you want more peace, it's good to live.
Yeah. All right, cool. So let's look, the ones that you choose, you're gonna put the checkbox here. You click next to look at the next one, and so on. So you're gonna do the same thing for each, okay? And you say, okay, my buyers like these, we're gonna go ahead and start looking at them. Now, when you're looking at these properties, I'm gonna give you a tip. Depending on the approval for your buyers, just because your buyers might be approved for 545 purchase price, that don't mean the taxes can match it. So let's say, for example, they have debt to ratio, their approval was based on a certain debt to ratio. And the lender says you're approved for 550, your HOA can't go over $200, and your taxes can't go over $5,000. Okay, so you have to look out for that. So in this case, it works out good because of the home is 545, it's under 550, the tax is under $5,000, and the HOA is 469 yearly. So these are the things you have to look at when you're showing.
Question, Ashika, is the lender that approves how much HOA they can pay and how much taxes?
Yes,
Okay.
because it's a part of their debt to their income. So when they're doing the loan approval and you're getting an approval for a house, it have to meet all the debt in order to, their income have to be enough to cover this debt. Because in some cases you can find a house for the price, but the taxes could be doubled.
Okay.
And then they won't financially qualify. So that it's not that their customer don't financially qualify, the house won't financially qualify. In some cases, what I will do, call my lender and say, I found a house for them. The taxes is over blah, blah, blah. Is there anything on their credit that they can pay down in order to qualify? So sometimes you can kind of reverse prospect the debt by going back to the lender. And if they say that it's the taxes can't go over $5,000, for example, and let's say it's $5,500, you go back to the broker and you say, okay, it's $500 over. What can they do on their debt to offset this to make it work? Because sometimes they can either lower the insurance, they can lower some credit problems on their credit report in order to qualify for it. But if it's $8,000, then just forget it, just keep it going. Because I'm gonna tell you, 9 times out of 10, if you show them that house without doing the research, I guarantee you that's the house they're gonna want. And then what's gonna happen when you submit it to the broker, they're gonna look at it, they're gonna like, oh, they can't buy this house. It's out of the price, their budget. So always do the research, like maybe have like a template to do the measuring of the cost to buy this house. Because
Chica, quick question. So when you're dealing with the buyer, does that show on the pre-approval letter? I mean, or does it give you an idea, or you still have to call the lender and ask them those specific questions?
I ask.
Okay.
The lenders usually tell you if you have a good broker that you communicate well with.
Okay.
But I ask. I don't play because I'm not going to waste my time out there driving and wasting their emotions. Like, I don't want them to get upset.
Right, right.
I've learned from that. And this is why I'm showing this. Like, years ago, I've learned from that. That I showed someone a beautiful house, but it was a foreclosure. And of course, whoever they didn't pay the taxes. So what happened, the tax was doubled on that MLS. I didn't pay attention to that. And unfortunately, even though the yearly tax met their budget, that purchase couldn't meet the qualifications because the tax for that moment affected that budget. So if you notice that if it's a foreclosure, sometimes these taxes will be a lot higher because it might be 2 years on there, not just one. But the lenders will not take it in consideration that it's doubled. They just consider it the debt for that particular moment. So when they go through the approval, this house won't qualify for it, even though it's not the real tax per year. That makes sense?
But no, one question. When it's a foreclosure, doesn't the owner pays the taxes before that he owes before closing? Or at closing, they
You
the
mean
money.
the bank?
No. When you go to close, yeah, the bank tells you what to do. And don't they have to deduct the taxes that are owed, and everything that is owed is paid by the seller?
It is deducted by the seller, but unfortunately, because the recording of the taxes is a certain amount, the qualification is based on that, unfortunately.
Oh,
So the buyer's not paying for it, but that's what they have to use as the taxes to qualify the loan, which really sucks.
well, yes, if it's a foreclosure, sure, because then after the everything is paid up, everything is going to back to normal.
Exactly, but they don't look at it that way.
Oops.
They calculate everything based on the current condition, even though they know that is not the case. But it's just what's recorded, unfortunately. Okay, so that's something you have to look out for. All right.
I have a question, but can you tell the client if you see like it's high, like you said, it's high, those taxes, like maybe double, but can you tell the client when you buy, if you be your first home, like homestead, the taxes go lower?
No, you always tell them that, but just make sure they can qualify for the house before showing it to them. Because you don't want them to fall in love with it and then they can't buy it. So make sure you send it to the broker and say, listen, can they qualify for this house? Because the taxes are high or the HOA is too high, because it can throw off their debt to income ratio. Like this tax is 8,400. This reflects the county tax.
So from the beginning, you tell them that you have to qualify them and the house.
Yes. Both have
Okay,
to
some
qualify.
people do not understand that they have to qualify the house.
They do not.
Especially
that's our job to tell them that.
in condos is more difficult.
Mm-hmm. It's difficult only if you don't advise them up front. And when they get pre-approved, the lender tells them that. They tell them you can't, this is how much you got to pay for HOA or less. This is how much you can't go. They tell them that when they're doing their qualifications. If that lender's not advising them that, they're not a good lender. You can find another person to deal with.
Okay.
And then you look at your commissions too. That's an important part of the deal. You look at how much you're gonna get paid, like how much I'm gonna get paid for this house. I'm just kidding. No, I'm not. So, all right. So let's say we're gonna go ahead and pick all these houses and we're just so super damn excited. All these houses qualified. They're ready to go ahead and look at them. And like, yes, we're gonna go ahead and look at these houses and get them going. All right. So you're gonna go ahead and save their search. So you're gonna click save. You're gonna click new auto email. And what's gonna happen, you're saving the qualifications, the criteria of what I chose on here, and it's gonna go to their email. So you go ahead, if you don't have them as a contact, you click create a new contact. And you put your name, last name, email. If there's two parties, you're gonna put both emails here and separate it by a comma. Okay. Always check enable reverse prospecting. And then what this is when a listing is sent out to your customer, the other agent, with the listing agent, receives an email that they're able to see who sees that email, but not the actual contact information. They can see that you have a customer that received an email about their listing, but they don't have the contact information to call your customer. What they will do is email you and say, listen, I see that my listing was sent to your customer. We're getting ready to lower the price $15,000. If your customer is interested, please give me a call. That's what they do. All right, you name the topic. I'll probably put new home under, I'll put 450, right? 450K to 600. Plantation. You can put anything there. That's just whatever you want to put. If you want to be copied on it, the reason why mine is not showing is because it's me. But if you want to be copied on an email, what the listings that they're getting, you copy yourself. And the reason, let's say I have someone who wants to buy today. I BCC myself on all their emails, because as soon as I get an email from their portal, I check it. So if you have someone that's in dire need to move, they need to buy today, like it's a priority, BCC yourself on all the emails so you can check exactly what's coming up on their dashboard. Because if once they see something and you see something, you may have to jump on and make an appointment, okay? All right. If you BCC yourself for people that's not ready to buy, take it off. Please, your email will be flooded, okay? All right, so your email signature I told you about will show up here. There's a default message that shows up here to welcome your customer to the portal. I always have them send as soon as possible. When the pictures change, when the status change, when anything, even if it's a letter changed in an MLS, they will get that email. And then here, I just put show the contact in reverse prospecting. I don't use the feature for customizing and enable concierge because I have to check the listings first before it goes to them, and I don't have time for that, honestly. So they'll get the emails, and then I also go in their dashboard and I will go in and check the listings myself. If it's not on my BCC, I still go into my customer's dashboard just to check what's going on in there. And then you can make notes as well on listings that's sent to them. There's a little drop note box that you can send notes on to your customer. Send them a courtesy text and say, hey, I just made a note on in your portal, okay? And then you hit save. Once you hit save, the emails will, the 5 listings or whatever matches this criteria will get emailed to their emails, and it's on an auto receipt. So not only they'll get this email, whatever comes up in the market that matches this criteria will also get sent to their email. If this home goes pending, under contract, closed, it'll send them an email, okay? So let's see, don't look at my email. I get a lot of emails, okay? Don't come for me. So it haven't arrived yet. As an agent, you will get a billion emails. So this is my property telling me I have a package here. You go get a package. This is a great package, guys. I'm closing on a house November 5th. And I ordered a beautiful purple drum set for my customer's daughter, because we went to see a house in Eagles Trace in Coral Springs. And it's just little things I'm telling you that we do for our customers. The daughter, she's 3 years old. She saw a drum set in one of the kids' room and she refused to leave that drum set. Like, we could not get her out that house. So I said to myself, for a closing gift for I call her Little Flower, because she's like, she likes sunflower. I said, I'm gonna get her drums. So I'm going to leave this drums in the house for her with a bow on it. So when they open their door and walk in their house, they're gonna see the drum set there. So that's what this is. It just arrived. So excited. Okay, so I'm trying to see if I could find a dashboard here. So I have a customer, Karim. He's actually, okay, so this is a dashboard since that email is taking forever to get through. So when I go to Mohammed's page, okay, I click on view listing. And this is what their dashboard looks like. So when you get a copy of their emails or when you go into their dashboard, this is what they see. And then to the right, you'll see the listings that was sent to their email. All right, let's say he likes this one. We click on this one here. Oh, no, that's not what I want to do here. All right, it'll open it up, and then the notes are here. You can add a note. You can put very nice condo. Ah, sorry. Dang it. Very nice condo and water views. I actually know this property. I made an offer for one myself. It was a wrap balcony property. Didn't get it, of course. Somebody outbid me. All right, so you make notes here, you press add notes, and they will see that note in their dashboard. So whatever you find out, your findings for this property, for example, you make the note, and then you send them a courtesy text and let them know that you put a message into their notes for this property. Okay. Any questions about that? All right. All right, so now they love all these properties. They're so excited and psyched up to get ready and get this party started. Okay. We're gonna go ahead and start showing. So we try to schedule showings 24 to 48 hours ahead of time. I do call each listing agent and find out, do you have offers? Yes. How many do you have? I have 3. When are they going to accept these? When are they going to accept offers? They want to accept offers tomorrow by 5. Can I show this property tonight? So these are what's happening right now because everything is going so quick. Even though you want to schedule 24 to 48 hours, sometimes you'll see here in instructions that in the broker remarks that they require 24 hours. And sometimes you'll see here 24 hours notice. I respect that, but I also make that call. Okay, I call them and I say, well, hello, Kimberly, this is Chica. I'm from Keller Williams Realty. I'm calling in reference to 9752 Southwest 1st Street in Plantation. I know that the showing instructions says it's 24 hours notice. By any chance, is it possible to show this property today? Some cases they'll say sure, some cases they won't. They'll ask you the time. Let me check with the seller and let you know. Do not, just because you see the 24 hours notice, don't mean you can't pick up that call, the phone and call them and see if you can show it sooner. If you know this property is in high demand, this location is in high demand, the sooner the better. Okay. So let's say the market's not going cray right now. So we want to go ahead and just show and schedule on 24 hours notice. You're going to click here. Remember, to all the properties that you're going to show, make sure they're all clicked. Okay. That way they're all populated on the showing time. Do not schedule each property one by one. Click all that you want to show. After you do that, click showing time. All right, add to showing cart. This is 24 hours notice. I'm gonna show Sunday the 25th. I'm gonna pick a buyer. Let's pick Keisha. She's always my guinea pig. And I press OK. So when you do that, it will populate the map. This map is so important because it shows you the route and the zigzag. Okay. I call it zigzag because there's agents that will go to show house number 3, go all the way to house number 2, and have to go all the way to back 1 and 4 because why they didn't route properly. You have to be professional, show people what you're made of, and that you can get this done for them in the less time possible. All right.
I didn't know that.
The thing is smart right here. That if you don't route, they're gonna look at you like, girl, you crazy, you dizzy as hell. You like, she taking me all over is this a tour? So here where it says smart route, click this first and see where it take you. Okay, this is how I route myself. And I'm gonna share this with you. If I have 2 customers, okay, in the same day, my last showing will be closer to my first showing for the next customer. Okay. So if I'm showing, let's say Pembroke Pines after Plantation, we all know Pembroke Pines is south, right? So I will start my route from north and work my way south, okay? So what I would do, oops, I didn't mean to do that. It's kind of sensitive, the screen, just to let you know. No, go away, go away. All right, so I will take number 4 and move it up. Then I'll take, hey, no, number 1. So it's number 1. So number 4 would become number 2. So then you see it take me 1, 2, 3. Wait, I'm doing this backwards, ain't I? I need to go to Pembroke Pines. And then number 5, I'll make number 3. And then, here we go. So I made my route from north to south, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 showings. And my last route would be here. I always try to schedule my showings one after the other 2 hours apart, just in case I need to eat, because one thing Sheikah don't do is eat during the job, okay? And that's another thing I tell my customers when we meet during a presentation. We do not have lunch. We do not eat. We don't have time to take brain breaks. When you're taking your customers out to look at houses, you only want them to focus on the tours, because when they go and eat, they get too relaxed. You don't need that. You need the intensity in their body, in their mind, in their soul while they're looking. You bring granola bar. I bring granola bars with me and water. You bring a chocolate flavor, you bring a vanilla flavor, almond, whatever. In Target, they have that mixed package. If you guys come to my classes, usually in the office, I have on granola bars and stuff like that, donuts or whatever. But I get the mixed package from Target, and that's what they're going to eat. Water and a bar. We don't have time for food. So after, when I schedule my showings, I keep 2-hour windows in between so I can go get something to eat, or maybe I can go do something to refresh my brain, go to Sawgrass, whatever, take a walk, and then go to the next step. So let's say I stop here. We're right off the 595. They have the University Drive. University is Boulevard is here somewhere. So I'll stop at the fountains or something and just take a breather and then jump onto my next showings, which would be south. Try to take 2 hours in between, or at least an hour besides the commute to your next showings. Okay.
Shika,
Uh-huh.
one more question. It's related to this. What is the average time for each showing? Because I found myself booking showings, and I gave, I guess, my half hour, and then I realized like I'm ahead of the game, like of time.
Yes.
What is like an average time, let's say, between one home to another?
It depends on how far apart they are. So like, for
Okay.
example, the 1 and 2, I do 30 minutes. So let's do this now. So home 1, let's say we're starting at 11. I'll do 11 to 11:30.
Okay.
Because sometimes you walk into a house, the customer don't like it, you walk in it, you walk out it.
Right.
Especially if it's occupied. You say to the customer, I know you don't like it, but we made the appointment. We'll walk in and we'll walk out, just out of respect for the appointment. So
Got it. Okay.
I do 30 minutes increments. In this case right here, since like
There's
2
a
and
little
3 would
drive
be a little
time. Yeah.
distance, maybe I'll do 45 minutes, right? Because if they like a house before that, they may stay in there longer. So I do 30 minutes normally though. And then if I
Okay.
run into a situation that I'm going to be early or late, I do make that call to the listing agent out of courtesy to let them know and make sure it's okay. So for example, I always suggest my customers drive by neighborhoods sometimes, because what to each his own, right? What you feel is by great might not be to them. Some people like double parking, some people don't in a neighborhood, so it just depends. So if we go to a showing and the customer looks at the neighborhood, she's like, oh, hell no, I don't want to, and it's vacant. I was like, okay, let's keep it going. I would call the listing agent and say, listen, we had a drop off on one of our showings. Is it possible that I can go and show this property? I'm scheduled for 2:00, but it's 1:00. We're a little early. They'll call the seller or the owner and let us know. if it's okay or not. If it's not, you go get water, take a little moment, go to the neighborhood, sit at their neighborhood community center, whatever it is that they have, and until the next, until it's time. It's very rare though. Most people would want us in there earlier to get our asses out faster anyway.
Mhm.
So just
Okay.
communicate while you're out there. That's all.
Good
All
to know.
right. So you're
Thank
gonna
you.
see, huh?
I said, good to know. Thank you.
Yeah, you're
Very good
welcome.
question. Was very good question.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So it's all about communication. If you don't have just like a relationship, if if you guys don't communicate, nothing's accomplished. So it don't hurt to pick up the phone and ask them, can we go early or we're gonna be late? Always be courteous and let them know you're gonna be late. Always. I do that all the time. All right. So this one don't accept showings online requests. So always keep that your window open so that you can, I hate this bar, it's always in my way. So you can go into it. So this is 9752. So you're gonna click on 9752 to see what the instructions are. It's 24 hours notice. In this case, you will call Kimberly and make that appointment. So you know that you're gonna be doing this last one up to 12 o'clock. So you're gonna schedule this one 12:30. Okay, because that one was a little far apart from number 2. Okay, so don't do 12 to 12:30, do 12:30 to 1 o'clock for this one, because it is a distance to get there. Make sense? And I'm a map. I'm a mental map. I swear my friends and my family call me, Shika, how do I get here? And it's because I've been doing this for so long. And I was in property management all over Southeast Florida. I know where every corner is in their back roads, main roads. I know everything about the map. So when I'm making these appointments, I have an idea from point A to point B, how long it will take me. I'm like, my grandmother called me the road warrior because I'm always out there. But if you're not good at knowing the geographics of your showings, you see here the distance. You see it? And it tells you how many minutes it takes to get there. So that's the awesome part about this showing time. So in this case, we scheduled this from 12:30 to 1. And now we're going to do this from 1 to 1:30. And then this one is not allowing either. It is the last appointment. You're going to go into that listing and find out why. All right, as is showing available Monday through Friday. So these are like, I call them little red flags you have to pay attention to. Okay, so this one don't allow us to show on Saturdays and Sundays, Monday through Friday only, 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. It says click show assist. So in this case, you'll do a single showing for this one. And you see all the blockage. You're like, damn, they're only showing from 10 to 3. Okay, so in this case, you're gonna have to remove this from your route. Okay, so remove it and tell your buyer, sorry, 1721 Southwest 67 Terrace. You know what? I'm lying. I don't remove it. I actually keep mine. And there's a reason for that. I'll show you. All right. So once you finish the routing, I hit this by mistake last time and scheduled like 10 appointments last class. You hit send requests. I'm not gonna go on top of it because my mouse is sensitive. So that right there where you see my arrow, you hit send request, and all of these requests will go to the listing agent, minus number 3 and 5, of course. Because this one you have to make the phone call, and this one you have to remove. Okay. Once you send it the request, all the agents will be notified. I always print this. I do not print the full version. I don't print this to come out with me when I'm meeting with my customers. A lot of agents print the
Why?
client report. I use the route. This is what I use.
No, but why don't you print the full report to take with you?
Because I always tell them when I meet with them, I'm a tree saver.
Ah,
I believe in green and I do everything online. Do you prefer paper? I asked them that. Most of them says no. Do you prefer emails? They'll prefer the email. Okay, I bring my iPad with me, so if they want to see something, it's on my iPad, and there's Wi-Fi on my iPad, so I'm prepared. But I print this for them, the buyer version,
Mhm,
because it saves you ink and paper.
mhm.
Everything you can do and economically to save you money, because remember, when you're out showing these properties, you are not getting paid, you're spending. The moment you sit and search, that's time, that's money. The moment you jump into your car, that's gas, that's money. The little granola bars you buy, that's money. The water you're buying while you're out there, Starbucks, whatever you're doing that day with that customer, remember that's a cost. Keep that in mind. Your time is cost. That's our job, to save the money. And I always tell when we're doing the class on marketing for free, do not, when you start making money, do not go out there and buy expensive cars, big ass houses. Keep everything on a low until you build your business. And what, don't buy all these things as a realtor. You buy those things as a business. Always remember that. So the less money you spend on ink and stuff like that, the better for you. This is what I bring with me. I bring one for me. And if you see, it's only one page. And I bring one for them. And the great news, it has the address, the price, and the time. On their page, I write instructions. So for example, I keep this one on there, the one that don't show. Why is mine showing like that? The address is usually over here. I don't know, it looks all wacky. I would write notes on this. Seller is not able to show on the weekend. They only show Monday through blah, blah, blah at such time. Because you don't want your buyers thinking you're skipping something and don't want to show it to them. And unfortunately, some buyers have trust issues. And that's something that's their problem, not yours. But at the same time, you want to assure them that, you know, you're doing the best for them. And at this moment, this property can't be shown. And I always put the reason why here. So they already know what to look forward to when they can see this one. That makes sense? Okay. So this is the version I print for them and bring with me for the tours. Now, once you go out and show, and let's say you found a property. All right, so now you're out, you're showing. Make sure you turn off lights. Make sure you lock all doors. If you walk into one of these listings and find an issue, contact the listing agent, let them know. I've walked into homes and found puddles of water, cats. I've walked in and saw cats that didn't belong in vacant homes. Doors are opened. And because your name is on that lockbox when you walk in, you're registered when you show in that house. You let them know, listen, I walked into this house, this door is open. I walked into the house, there's a cat in there. Let them know that. You know, send a courtesy text or something. All right, so we already scheduled. Now we're getting ready to pick a house. Okay. So this is the exciting part. So let's say customer Jane. You know, Jane is from the back in the day books. We said, see Jane run, seeing Jane hide. All right, let's pick this one. I like the lights. So we're gonna pick this one, okay? So we saw this house, your customer likes this one, the price is right, the taxes are right, everything is perfect, okay? All right. The square footage, oh, these are the things you'll also look at. You look at the price, short sale or Rio. Rio means foreclosure, just so if you don't know. Square footage, the year of the house. The year will have a lot to do with insurance, just so you know. It can increase insurance costs. If you need a lead-based paint addendum for this, which is 1971 or older, okay? Then you have, sometime when you look at roof, you have to look at the roof as well. If it's a flat roof, shingle flat roof, the insurance will be higher, just so you know. If it's like this, it's fine because water can run off. But if you have one of those, I know there's some houses in Plantation that the roofs and like Tamarack, there's that flat squared roof. If you sell a home like that, let the customer know that they're going to be higher in insurance. All right, so we like this house. We're going to go ahead and send an offer. When you're ready to send an offer, you're going to click FS up here. Right here to the right, if you see documents attached, you click on it. So let's see if there's an example here. If any is here. Nope, nobody uploaded. In some cases, there's information about the HOA, information of how to send the offer in, or any stipulations or seller's disclosures. A lot of the agents will put an attachment, and this is, you'll see it in this open space right here. So look out for that as well. Okay. All right, so we're going to click on Form Simplicity. When you click on Form Simplicity from the matrix, it'll automatically fill in this information. You see that? Then it'll have the area where you put the seller's information, the agent information for that listing, your buyer's information, and then this is your information. All right, you're going to save transaction. Yeah. This address is 1728. Yeah. So you're going to save the transaction as the address, or you can put a customer's name. There's a reason for that, but I'm not going to get into that right now because it's kind of bootleg, but I'll show you that is a trick to this. Because what happens is you can use the same transaction with different addresses, but I'll show you guys later. There's a trick to that. So, I'm going to show you the right way. Sorry. Let me not do that. We'll do that separately individually. And this is a purchase. So you have the address. You have the same address here as a transaction name. It's a residential property and it's a purchase. You're going to click Save to New Transaction. And voila, it populates the information here. Okay. You're going to import property data. Select. It'll pull up the information. Save. Usually when I'm working on this, I would have the IMAP information here as well, the taxes for that property if I'm making the offer for it. So you have the name of the seller. So this is Sham Karmik.
Can you show us again how you pull the IMAP?
I did it from the matrix, the tax right here.
Okay, you just click on the folio.
Mm-hmm.
Shika, one
Mm-hmm.
quick question. What icon did you use to get to where you're at now? Just, I must have been looking at this,
I went on to the FS above the picture of the, right here, Perform Simplicity.
FS. Okay.
Mm-hmm. So once you click on it, it'll take you in. So the classes you must take with the MLS, the matrix, Form Simplicity, IMAP, RPR. Those are the 4 important ones. The reason why I take Form Simplicity is because if something was to happen to Command, for example, or any system, you have a backup. You could use I use some Form Simplicity imported into Command.
Not all of them. I guess I was just looking at a listing. I don't see that icon. So is it like when do you see it? Not all listings have it, right?
No, all of them should have it.
Okay, because I'm looking at one right now and I don't see the FS.
Are you looking at are you on the same listings I'm on?
Well, I actually kind of came off, sorry, but I was just looking at just randomly was playing around with it, and then I was looking at the top. I see all the other icons except for that one.
Yeah, they usually have all of them. I've never had it not there.
Because the one that, I guess I don't want to sidetrack you, but I was just looking at one of the active listing for the market center that in Fort Lauderdale, and it didn't show. So
yeah, that's weird. Because it usually would be there unless what's the MLS number for the one you're looking at? Does it start with an R?
it's wait, why am I blanking out? Hang on one second, let me see. It starts with an F.
Okay, so that's Fort Lauderdale. I don't know, it would be there, because normally if it starts with an R, it could be a non-MLS thing, but I'm not sure.
I was just kind of wondering. That's all. Sorry.
Yeah. Maybe you could check with the MLS to find out why would that feature not be there for that particular listing. Maybe it's something, you know, because sometimes there's a lot of people that list the property but not an agent. For example, if they're an investor, they join the MLS, but not as a realtor. And sometimes they'll have their listings in here, but maybe it's not able to merge into the features. So that could be something. But if it has a F there, you know, check. Maybe that's the situation. If you scroll down to the bottom, is it a brokerage or an investment firm? And now you have me curious. So now you know I'm gonna check on that, right? Let's see
Yeah,
why.
I'm trying to like,
I'm like that. I need to know why. I'm like the investigator, because then I can teach it next time, right?
Shika, I'm like, so I'm just have like trying to do what you did with the form simplicity. And when I
Mhm.
click on it, it doesn't automatically import the data. How did you do that?
Let me go back to it. This didn't show up on yours?
Yeah, it doesn't automatically import it.
Hold on. You clicked on import property data here.
No, how do you get there?
All right, so let's when you go here, when you clicked on when I clicked on form simplicity from here, it takes you to the actual form simplicity screen.
Okay.
And then whatever is on this should have ported over into yours.
Not, it's just entirely blank. There's no information at all.
You didn't see this pop up?
No, it just says enter the address.
Hmm.
It says the name MLS listing import with the ID number, but then all of those fields are all blank. It says enter for all of them.
Okay. All right. We'll check yours and see after. I'll check on it. I'll check yours separate.
Okay.
Okay. What are you getting? Okay. All right. So I'm sorry. Can you get a package from a leasing office for me? My son. It's a big box. It's a drum set.
Okay, Chica, again, I'm lost. I am in the form simplicity, okay? And then how do you bring the IMAP? You go back to matrix?
Yeah, in Matrix.
And then you click the
click on the portfolio number.
okay. No, it brings me to the IMAP page.
That's what it's for.
But how do you bring it to the form simplicity?
You have to click on the FS. Right there, above the picture.
I already have the FS, okay? So from the FS, it imported all the information from the from the house and whatever. But then I want to include the IMAP information, and I was not able to do it.
Well, you have to be prepared with that. That's what I was saying. You have to have this ready. Like I'm used to it, so I know how to jump from one thing to the other. But if you're not, you should print this page.
Okay, got it. No, I saw that out. I pull it on. Okay.
Yeah. So if you're not knowing how to jump back and forth, like how I just did that, when you're writing the offer, just click on the IMAP and just have that tax sheet ready so that you'll have the information you need to add on to the transaction.
Got it.
Okay. All right. So here, once you have all the participant information in, so I already put the seller in. All right. So when you have the transaction here, you scroll down, okay? Where it says transaction participants, you're gonna add them here, okay? And then when you add them here, what will happen? It'll port automatically onto the forms, okay? So now we're gonna add the forms. So where it says here, forms, you're gonna click add blank forms. Do not click add forms package unless you created your own package, which I need to do that. So I don't have to
I
keep
don't
going forth.
want
But
forms
you can
after
create
the.
your own package. That way, when you're doing offers, you can pick one or the other. So you could create a listing agreement full package. You could create a buyer package. You could create property management package. So depend
No,
on the
but I
transaction.
don't see in the simplicity form. It says property information, listing information, seller landlord information, seller landlord agent, sales information, buyer tenant, but it doesn't have forms.
Above it, right here. It's the first blue line.
No, it's not here. After property information, I don't have that one.
You see,
Actually,
are you on this page?
in what?
Are you like this page I'm on? Are you on that screen?
Maybe I went to another one because the picture is not there, but I click I click on the matrix. I click directly the form simplicity,
Mm-hmm.
and then tells me that it's sending me to another page, continue.
So it's because you're
And,
behind. We're one screen in front of that. So this is
yeah,
where you
but
are. This is where you are now. You're here.
exactly, that's where I am now.
We passed this
What do I
already.
do?
You click
Okay,
save
I got
transaction.
a save transaction. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Save to new transaction. Okay.
And it'll take you to this screen with
Oh, no.
Are you there?
Yeah, I'm here. I'm trying to figure out.
Okay, perfect. Click on where the green button that says import property data.
Yeah, I
And
got
once
it now.
okay.
Yeah, I'm there. Then if you put add blank forms, correct?
Mm-hmm. Wait. Did you add you gotta add the participants here. So I mean,
Okay.
if you haven't done that yet, it's fine, but I just want to make sure you do that first before you add forms, because if you don't do that first, you're gonna have to fill in the blanks for yourself. So
Okay.
when you go to transaction participants, you're gonna click add seller. You're gonna add the seller name here, okay? Depends on what's going on with the parties. Add buyer or tenant parties here, okay? That goes there. All right. Once you add that, then you're gonna add the forms. So you scroll up to where it says forms, and then you're gonna add blank forms. From our library, we're picking Florida, okay? We're using the Florida forms. When we write contracts, we use the as is for sale and purchase. Okay. If you want a specific form, you can search as well here, search forms.
Which one we choose? Board Miami Association of Realtors or just Florida?
Florida.
Then you go to as is. Okay.
Okay. And then you're gonna get the Florida as is. You're gonna see the list of contracts here. I mean, forms here to use.
Mm-hmm.
In this case, let's say it has an HOA. You're gonna click on the HOA.
CR, homeowners, flood insurance, no.
If it's a FHA loan or VA loan, you have to use the FHA form, okay? Just remember that. In this case, it's gonna be conventional. If the home is 1971 or older, you will use a lead-based paint disclosure. In this case, it's not, it's 1973. So you don't have to use that, okay? That's just so you can, in a lot of my forms, my offers, I always use the mold inspection addendum. A lot of agents don't use that, probably 80%, but I do because I have to protect my buyer's interest. So use the mold inspection addendum. I send this to a lot of listing agents and they've told me straight up they don't use it. I was like, oh, I do.
No,
I'm gonna
because
say that.
for mold, this stays on
Mhm.
the property and it's a big issue.
So on the bottom right, you're gonna click add forms.
Oh, shoot.
Yep. Are we there?
Little bit slow. What is the condominium rider versus the HOA?
Condo, because the condo verse is for the condominium buildings and the HOA is the
houses.
disclosure, but the condo riders are a little different.
Okay,
You
so
have to have
when
the
you
condo
have a,
rider, especially if it's a condo tenancy, you have to have the condo riders. Especially if there's assessments and stuff like that, yeah.
transaction, okay.
So write that down so that you can know the difference. That's why you guys have to be on Adriana's Zooms because she goes through that with the far bars. Okay, so write that down, Blanca, so make sure that we do that class for Ariana. She teaches the far bar and the forms.
Okay.
All right, let's start. Get this offer accepted. We ready to get this going now. Okay, let's go, let's go, let's go. Wow, I'm the buyer. The only thing I don't like is I do everything in capital letters. I need to, in this case, I usually change it. I used to go back and change it. I usually go back and change, I don't want to, think I'm screaming at them, right?
What did you click, sorry, to get there?
You click on the offer, as is. Click on the as is.
Okay.
All right. So we're on the form. We're gonna fill everything out. If you notice in 1D, it has the personal property that comes with the property. It has the range, dishwasher, disposal ceiling fans. It has a list of fixtures here, but if you notice what's not here, tell me what you don't see on there. So if you walk into a house and the washer and dryer will be included into the sale, it's not in that list. So make sure you put the washer and dryer on there.
Chica, how did you get to this form from the Form Simplicity?
You click on, hold on, let me save it. Did you add the forms to the packet?
I don't know.
Right here? We just did this part to add the forms.
Okay.
You can add your forms while we're doing it.
Okay.
You didn't, did you?
No, I didn't.
Hold on, I'm gonna be loud for a second. Ethan!
Yes.
Can you plug this in for me? Thank you, honey. Appreciate that. Let me know when you uploaded, you put yours in. you. You're so kind and so handsome. You look just like mommy.
So as is residential contract. And then you just click on it, click on the link.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. So whatever the information you put in, it'll port over on here. Okay. So the
Awesome.
automatic part will port over, and then the seller information, the buyer information you put in will show up here. Here, I was telling you, they don't have the washer and dryer here. And if there's anything else in the house that come in with the house, like let's say the generator, for example.
So the
Let's say,
wire, it's never included on this as is contract. You always have to add it.
yeah,
Okay.
if it's in the house, if it's available in the house, you have to check that first.
Okay.
If they said they want to do the generator and they want to leave it there, you ask for it. Pool, let's say pool equipment, right?
Okay.
So anything besides what's in this list that you see in the house, oop, I can't spell.
Okay,
Yes.
this might be a weird question, but if the house is on a septic tank, do you have to include that too?
No, because that's fixed. You can't move that.
Okay. What if
Yeah.
it's an above ground septic tank?
If it's a what?
Above ground septic tank.
Ew. I don't even want to think about
haven't
that.
seen one.
You can mention something. You could put it on there. Ugh. If there's a painting on the wall, like I went to a house, there you could say name the painting, like whatever you see in there that you want them to leave, you put it on here. Okay.
Pool table.
A pool table.
But
There you go.
before you submit this contract, is it better to call the listing agent and to ask if they're conveying that? Because you don't want them to turn down the offer because you asked for, you know what I mean?
They can always cross it out. It won't hurt you.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. So here, the purchase price, right now, since the market's going cray, right? How much was that house? I don't even remember how much it was. Was it 533? It was 530.
And what if they want to offer less?
You can offer less, but you have to shop your market before you even do that. Prepare your buyers to always pay the asking price.
Okay.
I don't take less here. I don't do that.
You don't? Okay.
And I don't do seller's contribution either. I'm gonna tell you that now.
No.
Send me a buyer that want money. Send me a buyer that have money. Because right now, you won't have no room for that. You will not get accepted. Yep.
I don't know, girl, because when I got my house, we did seller contribution
When did you buy that?
2 years ago.
Exactly.
Right? Okay. All right.
It's a different market now.
Yeah. And you know what? Since short sales, I've never asked for a contribution ever.
Really? Okay.
I do not prepare my buyers to ask. I prepare them to not ask. Because the competition is heavy.
Yeah.
And the place like Plantation, it's a heavy market. Everybody moves there. So you can ask, but it depends on, like the market, right?
Right.
So not every market is great. Just do the research.
Yeah.
You will see in the MLS if there was contribution in the neighborhood if you do the comps.
I was saying the
Oh my God, I skipped the comps. I was supposed to do that before the offer.
if the seller is willing to cover any of the closing costs, it would say in the broker's remarks, right?
I'm sorry, go ahead. Say it again, Ash.
If the seller is willing to cover any of the closing costs, it would say in the broker's remarks, right?
If it's gonna be up, if it's upfront, yeah, and that's usually when they're really desperate to sell. Go put some water on it.
Okay.
Yeah, but I have one case that I'm working with this investor. We obviously, as investors, they offer less for the condo. They say no, and The second one, they say no again. So we move to another unit. And then the broker that say no twice, they said, oh, we are taking off the of the market. And I just check it and it's back again, same price. And they haven't sold it after 30 days that we
Yep.
made the offer. You offer again?
Why not? It don't hurt. It don't hurt.
Okay.
It never hurt. I'm sorry, I did skip something. I apologize. I was trying to beat the time. Okay, so let's say we didn't write the offer yet, for example. We got to do the CMA. So
Oh,
Yes,
we're gonna
good.
go back
I
to the
love-
matrix.
Yeah.
All right. Sorry, my son burned his finger.
Oh, poor baby.
Okay.
Yeah, we are there.
Put water on it. Go put water on it. Go get an ice. Go get an ice from the freezer, okay? It's okay. You get burned sometimes. You get hurt. It's gonna be okay. It happens.
Hey,
Before.
Shika, just a little note why I was not seeing the FS. The icon is slightly different. I don't know, maybe because I'm in Broward. It's like little pages flapping instead of FS.
You're on the Broward MLS.
Yeah.
That's right. I didn't even think about that because you're in Fort Lauderdale.
Yeah, just a quick note in case someone else who was still trying to figure that out.
Yeah, I'm like automatically assuming you're Miami with us. Hold it.
That's all right.
so Shika, you do the CMA before you write up an offer.
Yeah, I do the CMA first.
Okay.
I apologize, guys. I like so skipped it. So I'm gonna go
Oh,
ahead
wait,
and
hold on. I got another really silly question.
Mhm.
What was when you went to the transaction paperwork, what is the difference between that first transaction paperwork and now this as is contract? Which one is the actual offer?
I didn't go to anything besides this one. This is
When you imported, I figured out how to, but when you imported that information from the MLS into the transaction, what was that first form? Or is that not a form?
Yeah, there was no form. It was just a transaction data that I imported over.
Oh,
From the-
okay, okay. So then this as is contract, this is your offer contract.
Correct.
Okay, gotcha.
So I'll do that CMA real quick because it's so easy. So once you're on the CMA page, you're gonna click on pages. You're gonna click on the pages that you're including into CMA.
No, but
Okay,
wait,
see that?
Right,
second
where's the
Go-
CMA?
Where it says CMA, you click on that.
Okay.
pages.
And then you click the contact, the customer that you're using. And then click the top where it says pages. I don't know what Fort Lauderdale looks like anymore. I used to be with Broward when I was in Weston, but I don't remember. So I pick all these. The subject property. Oh crap, what was it? 1721. Seven. Yep. This is the subject. Okay. Fill from form. All right, so the subject property, always have the address in place. Okay. So where it says the pages, you go to the subject, you put in the address into the fill-in form. I usually pick the fill-in option and put the address in so I can fill it in for me. Okay.
Because I didn't get the address. I was trying to copy it and say it doesn't exist. So I just put fill, that's it.
Click fill in and then type in the address where the address search is in the middle of the MLS bar.
Street
Are you using the
number.
same property I'm using?
No, I got in a different one. I had to go and get something and I lose the number of the property.
Okay. Oh crap, I have a
Do you
picture.
always have to type this in manually, the subject address?
No, it fills in. If you were to do it through the fill-in.
Oh,
Fill in with me. Yeah,
it didn't work.
thank you.
Fill
You see
fill
where
from
it says, I'm sorry, where it says search for cross property right here.
Okay,
When you click on that,
okay.
you put the address right here.
Fuck. Oh,
You
How
click,
you put that? It took to the MLS.
yeah.
yeah, that's where you go, the MLS.
It's just bringing it up and now I gotta type in all the information again.
Right here.
And then what? Or the address is gonna appear there.
No, I typed this in.
You did manually type it in and then you click, oh yeah, I see it.
You click results,
Okay,
click the box
okay,
where it says fill from
Oh,
selected.
gotcha.
Mhm. All right. So, and then you'll see it populate here.
Mhm.
Give me 0 matches. I'm doing something wrong. 34, 40.
All right, I'm gonna have to keep going because I have appointment at 1 o'clock. All right, so we're gonna have to put the cover sheet and we could go back over this individually, or you can look at the video. Video, it's recorded. All right, so
Can you tell me, Shika, what pages, like if you just send it by text or whatever, what pages you include in your CMA?
I clicked on all of them.
All right, cool. Thank you.
All right, so comparables here. This is your subject,
Okay.
okay? Now we're gonna add the comps that was sold in that neighborhood,
Mm-hmm.
which is Lakeview Estates, okay? So we're gonna add from the listings. Delete this address.
Okay.
Right here in the subdivision, Lakeview.
Damn, I didn't write it down.
Okay.
But you know
Mhm.
what? It's still telling me, I didn't write the subdivision name, but it says 7 matches. Can I just go with that?
We're looking at what's sold.
Oh,
Okay, so when you are in the subject, then what do you do? I already got it, finally. I have all the address and all the information on the left. The
You're
picture
gonna
on,
have to use the recording because I'm against time now. Because I have appointment at 1 o'clock for 2 commercial contracts. I'm so sorry. But we could go through it together, okay? All right, so if right here where it says status change, where it says closed sale,
okay,
you're gonna click that
okay.
and then here results.
I'm still getting 0.
That's strange.
I'm looking at a different property too.
You see, that's what y'all get. That's what y'all get for not doing what I'm doing here. You're supposed to be following me, not your own thing, Sheikah thing.
quick.
No, but I gave you guys the criteria from the beginning, and you did your own.
All right.
Okay, this is a lesson to learn. Follow Sheikah, okay? Because now I can't. This class is supposed to be finished 12:30. All right. So
Thank you. It was very nice class.
you're welcome.
Very nice. Are you doing
So
that
now,
next-
but this is recorded, guys. Remember, this is recorded. You can get it. All right. So we're gonna add the selected comp that I found, and we're gonna jump back. All right. So right now, the property that was sold last was sold for 481 within the last 180 days. This property is asking for 530. So there's gonna be a chance that this property will not appraise. Okay. You have to probably dig deeper into the taxes to find out if there's any more. How about this? I removed the cost here. Once it still shows up 1. If I was to put 365, let's see what happens. It brings up 2. So I went to the whole year. So I'm gonna add this onto it, which brings it down lower. So now, because of this, it's gonna show you the average sale price. You're gonna click map, it's gonna show you where the properties are in line. You're gonna click adjustments if there's any adjustments needed. In this case, is not. And the pricing. Right now, as it stands, the house is overpriced. So you have the average at, the high is at 530, which is what's for sale. And then the sold properties, the highest is at 481. I will not offer more than 495 for this house. Offer price is 495. And you do this before you type the offer. Call the buyer and say, listen, this house is only going for, is going for 530, but the last one sold is 481. So that's a $50,000 difference. All right. When you view the CMA, you're going to compare apples to apples, ducks to ducks. Generate. My internet's really slow. Okay, any year now? Okay. All right, so this is what your CMA will look like. Once you have your, make sure you set up your settings so that banner will come up properly in your picture. The property will port onto the cover page, okay? Your customer's name will be here, okay? The subject property will be the cover sheet, and then you'll see the addresses of what it's comparing to. Like this one was on the market for 200 days. Damn, that long. All right. And then the other one was for 24 days. Damn, I need to find out why that was on the market. I'm gonna be nosy now. All right. So when you see this is a red flag. You need to look into this listing and see what the history is. I'll do that after. I don't have time now. Sorry. Usually what I normally do is to see why. So I will go into the MLS, into this listing and go into the property history and see why. It probably was overpriced and they probably brought the price down a couple times. Let's see. All right. So this one was sold 6502. Was sold for 413, but right here it shows 390. Oh, list price was 390. So the list price was 390. It was sold for 413 versus what's available. That's a lot. That's a big difference. They got some nerve up in here. That's your brother. All right. So the subject property here versus the other one, which is more comparable to it, was sold for 480, 481. The price was 48900. Look at the square footage and the difference. So when you're doing the CMAs, you compare. It's the same exact features. Why does agent overprice this house? She's not, or he's not doing the justice to their seller. Okay. So now at this point, you're gonna ask your buyer, is it worth you sending the offer? Are they willing to come at cash at closing if the seller don't accept that offer? Because obviously they overpriced it for a reason. It could be they want what they want, or it could be that they feel like they can get what they think they can get, but you got to figure this out. You call the listing agent, say, listen, I am trying to write an offer for this house. The last home sold was for 481. Is your seller willing to come down on the price if it appraised lower? Some cases they won't. And you go to your buyer and say, listen, I spoke to the listing agent and they won't budge. We got to move on to the next one unless you go and pay cash at closing. So these are the stuff you talk to with your buyers before you even look at a property. Because you're looking at this property and know this property is not going to go for 530 and they still want to see it. I'm like, I'll show it to you if you got cash at closing. Otherwise, don't waste time. The most I would offer for that house is maybe 495. That's the most. The way the appraisals are coming in right now, they're coming in all low or at contract price. If the appraiser feel like the seller's being greedy, they will drop that appraisal on purpose. They don't like greedy people. Okay. Appraisers do not, I repeat, they do not like greedy sellers. They will suck it to them on purpose and cause you to lose a deal. So make sure you do your homework first before you take your behindy out there. If you have any questions about a property you want to look at that seems overpriced, call myself or call Eddie. So in this case, they can kick rocks. 530 ain't happening. 495. So if the property was valued at 530, you don't budge on the price or you offer more. But in this case, it definitely was not. So you put a title company name that you're going to use. Okay. What percentage are going to finance? Let's say they're doing 20% down. You're going to put 80% here. If, hey, 80%. So if they're doing 80% down, okay. I mean, they're financing 80%. That's because they're putting 20% down. So that's what you put here. If the 10,000 would be subtracted from the amount at closing from that 20,000, and this is the balance that they have to bring to table. And this is their down payment only. Remember that, it's not closing costs, okay? Buyer's closing costs and prepaid and prorations is not included into this. This is just their 20% down payment. When I'm sending the offer, I always give somebody, the sellers 48 hours to respond. So in this case, the 26th, closing date, schedule your closing date 45 days out. Banks are not closing in 30 days these days. Prepare the buyers and make sure the listing agent prepare their sellers. And they're kind of late too. Be prepared for that. Closing may not happen on time. It's happening. You always click may not assign a contract. They're doing a
Chica, but
conventional.
there is some people that while they're buying or after at closing, they transfer it to the LLC. So you have to.
We're not doing that right now, Blanca. We're keeping the offer simple right now. We're not doing the LLC right now. We're doing individual buyers. But that's something I would have to explain, and we don't have much time for that one right now. That's a separate, another class. So we have now the contract is doing a conventional loan. This is the individual single family buyer, the conventional with a fixed and the 30 days. Do not put their interest rate on there because you cannot guarantee interest rates. Okay. Do not guarantee interest rates. Let the lender do that. They're going to obtain financing 5 days or less. I usually do 3. All right. Here, I always check 164. The seller is responsible for what they pay for. The buyer is going to be responsible for what they pay for. In cases of foreclosures, you usually pick 158 because this foreclosure usually pays for the owner's policy. You know, if you don't want them to pay for it, you just put this. It's up to you when you send the offer. It is stronger. If they don't, the less money they have to spend, the better for the bank. There is no warranty on this house only because right now it's an old house. Only if they have warranty on any type of appliances or any type of transferable service, you can put that on there if they have that, which is the questions. Usually the agents have that information in the MLS. If it's an HOA, you always have the buyer take responsibility after closing. If it's a condo HOA or with an assessment, you can check B to have the seller pay off the assessments in full. Okay, we don't have this situation in this case, but if you have a condo or HOA that has an assessment levied on the property, you go ahead and check B and just, you know, shoot your shot, see if you can get it done. Why not? All right, scroll. And the rest of these, if you need to have this contract explained to you so you can explain to your buyers, you sit with Adriana or whoever you use in your office for title closing.
How would you know if there's an assessment on a property?
You have to check. You have to ask.
Who would you
Always ask the listing agent, but I always ask for the HOA's information, and I call it HOA's myself.
And then
because
before submitting an offer.
Yes, because some of these agents don't do their due diligence and they do not know anything about the own property that they're selling, honestly. They take a listing and they forget to ask the questions.
But I had experienced that, Chica, that the agent didn't explain if there was an assessment or not, and then you try to call to the HOAs and they never answer to you.
You're gonna
You
have
go-
to keep trying. It is what it is, or go up there to their office. You have to
No,
keep
but
trying.
a lot of, well, I don't know now, but a month ago the offices were closed. Most of the administration offices were closed.
Yeah, and that's
And
unfortunate. It can happen.
what if that happens though? What if you can't get a hold of somebody, but you don't want to wait to send this offer? You want to get it in ASAP.
That's something I can't teach you, girl. That's human issues.
All right.
You take your butt to the office and knock on their door and
Okay.
leave them a note. I don't have bad luck with that. I will just keep, I'm persistent and I'll send an email. I'll also go to the office. I'll take my ass down there and I'll go to the office. All right, so when you go ahead, in this case, you're gonna put that you included the mold addendum. Okay, oops, can't spell. All right, and then let me see what else I put in here. I didn't put anything else in here. Near. Okay. All right. Oh, homeowners, I did here. So the addendums you put in, you're gonna check it off here. If it's not on here, you input it here. Okay. I would put buyer agree to pay Keller Williams. I think Richard have us doing this different now. I gotta find out and I'll let you guys know. Properties. $4.99 transaction fee. If you have a transaction coordinator, that money goes to them. There's somebody handling the transactions. If you don't, it goes to you. Seller and buyer agree, okay, that inspection period will begin 24 hours after, executed contract and delivered to all parties. And the reason why I do this is because you need time to call your inspector. Your inspector is not always going to be on your beck and call that moment. You need time to pick up to get these executed contracts out to your title company, to your lender, and to your buyer. You need to have all those sent out, and then you make these phone calls to the inspector to schedule the inspection. So you want it to start 24 hours after executed contract. Okay. Seller agree to deliver a free and clear title on or before closing. All right, this is the biggest one that's having a lot of people rejected. Oops. Seller and buyer agree that contract is contingent upon appraisal. In the event the appraisal returns, right, less than contract price, all parties are willing to renegotiate. I don't put dollar amounts on some of these offers unless I speak to my buyer. If my buyer says, Sheikah, I want this house, I'm willing to pay 5,000 or 10,000 over appraisal value, I will word that in this. If not, we go back to the negotiation table. Okay? So if it's the other way around, I would put in the event the appraisal returns less than contract price, buyer, and this is if and, okay? Buyer agree to bring no more than, let's say, $5,000 cash at closing table. So these are some situations, okay? So it's one or the other. So you pick. But I do, if there's a situation coming up with that you know that it's going to be a bidding war, you tell your buyer, listen, it's going to be like 10 people to this house. What do you want to do? Okay, do you have cash? If they have the cash, you write that on there so that the seller knows, okay, if my appraisal comes back $10,000 less, at least the buyer is willing to come up with the $5,000 over. And it helps a lot with the contracts. And these are conversations you'll have with a listing agent as well. So you're developing a relationship with your listing agents while you're doing all this. All right. Any questions about that? And this is going to come to you guys in an email, just so you know. You'll have the copy of this offer. Any questions?
No, until we do one ourselves.
Girl, you better go take the contract class. Okay, I teach you how to sell and write, not to teach you how to do the.
I didn't take, but then each transaction is different.
Yeah, but once you come up with each transaction, then we work with it individually.
Yeah, I know.
All right, so I see a Pamela. Hi, Pam. I'm sorry I didn't see you. All right, let me call my appointment. Tell them I'm running late. Okay, so I'm gonna Pamela and Karen, send me your email address. I'm gonna text you my phone number so I can send you. Oh, that's Majendi. Hold on.
I would like a phone number too. Email me.
Right there. Look in the chat. I sent it to you, and here's my email. So text me your email address. I'm gonna send you guys a CMA and the contract and the recording since you're in another market center. Blanca, this will come to this will come to our Facebook page for the Keller Williams Facebook page for our office.
Okie dokie, I need to.
Ruta, are you on the Facebook page yet?
Yes, I am.
Okay, so this class will be sent, oh, and it will be sent, bless you, it'll be sent to you by email as well as uploaded on the KW Elite Properties Facebook page.
Perfect. I can train you.
Yeah, I try not to curse too much, so.
No.
You know, Richard and Alan, they review some of these classes. And I have to say, sorry. But you see, the CMA is really quick and it helps you to figure out, okay, what am I going to do with this house for this customer, right? And that way you're not spending 45 minutes typing an offer and then coming up with unrealistic dreams. Let me text my appointment because I'm running late. Oh my God.
Oh my gosh, mommy.
Really, Ethan, you're being so dramatic.
No, I'm not.
You're being recorded. All right. I hope this helped you guys today.
Yes, thank you very much. It's always good to do the MLS with somebody else.
Yes. Yeah, I don't get deeper into it because I'm still, you know, there's stuff I need to learn about it too myself, but I know enough to get myself going, right?
No, but today you learn a new trick.
Yeah. All right, my darlings, I'm gonna go get myself together. I actually have a hair appointment and then a commercial appointment with Alfonso. I have to call him Alfonso while I'm driving to my hair appointment.
Thank you. Have a great evening, girls. Bye.
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 Thank you.
All right, guys.
Bye, sucker.
Hey.